Aaron, and good morning. I think you guys may need to raise your cameras a little bit because I'm somewhat taller than Coach Hass, so I'll give you a minute to go ahead and do that. But having said that, first of all, I'd like to just recognize Coach Hass and the fact that since he's been here, he's been awesome. He's been tremendous in terms of being a team player and being on the women's side, obviously, and having worked with two different head coaches is always very refreshing when a new head coach comes in and they're just as supportive of the women's basketball program as the previous coaches. He actually gave me a personal phone call and invited me and my team and my program to be a part of on the asphalt on Friday. So we'll be a part of that. So he's an awesome guy. He's working really hard. He's trying to be really inclusive in terms of not only with our women's program, but with the athletic department here at UAB and the other teams as a whole. Before we get started, I'd like to recognize my staff who's here in the back. You don't have to turn your cameras around for them, but they're back there. We have Daryl Oliver, who's been with me my entire 8 years I've been here at UAB, my assistant coach Kathleen Becker, my assistant coach, as well as Mark Wilson, my other assistant coach, and then I have Michelle Towns, who is my administrative assistant, along with two of my players, Amber Jones and Charisma Chapman. I just can't tell you how excited I am to be here. I mean, it's hard to believe it's year 9, and I'm still here. So I'm really excited and excited about this season and what this season has to bring. We have some great returners coming back, along with some unbelievable freshmen. And I'm really excited about what they're going to bring to the table and proud of how hard they've been working. They don't look like freshmen out there. Our newbies, I call them newbies. I should say that. I don't call them freshmen. I call them newbies. And they don't look like newbies out there. They compete really hard. They're aggressive. They don't back down. They want to be here. They want to be a part of this program, and they're showing me every single day they want to be a part of this program about how hard they work, not only on the court but also in the classroom. We're looking to feed off of last season. We were not pleased with our finish last year. We finished 19-11. Unfortunately, we had a skid where we lost 5 out of our 6 last games, and that really hurt us in terms of postseason. We lost that game in the Conference USA semifinals to UTEP. And unfortunately, with the luck of the unluck of the draw, I guess you'd say, we were unable to participate in postseason. So we're using that as fuel for getting us ready for this season and what we need to do to put ourselves in position to not only be in position to win Conference USA, but advance into postseason play. And our hashtag this year and what we're saying, our motto is the pursuit of excellence. We're pursuing excellence in everything that we do. I have a wonderful group of young women, as I mentioned before, that are phenomenal students. They're phenomenal young women. They're great citizens in the community, and they're outstanding basketball players. And they're giving me everything that they have. My staff is giving me everything that they have. We're putting all of our energy and all of our effort into getting on the right track, doing the things we need to do to be successful. And as most of you all know that had an opportunity to cover some of our games and maybe watch us play, one of our downfalls last year was the offensive side, which is an important part of the game. So we have to do better than, 56 points per game. Now, we were pretty doggone good defensively, and we were able to hold teams, to 55 points or less. But there are some games that were kind of some drudge matches. They were kind of ugly that we came out on the short end of the stick because we weren't able to finish underneath the basket. We weren't able to finish layups. We weren't able to finish free throws. And so we've started this season. We were able to start practice, as you all know, on October 2nd. On the women's side, we were able to start practice 40 days before our first competition. But we have to give the young ladies 10 days off in between, which has really helped us. It helped us get started really early, especially with the newbies that we have, getting them acclimated to practices, to drills. We've been able to put in a couple of offenses, some out-of-bounds plays, some different defensive strategies. So that kind of gives us a little bit of a head start. But we're really looking to focus on the offensive end. And fortunately for us, we were able to bring in some really strong offensively minded kids, some local kids, some kids from far away. We have a young lady from Baltimore, Maryland. We have a young lady from Flint, Michigan. We've been all over the country. We have a young lady from Irving, Texas. So we're no longer a regional team. We're now a national team. And we'll be become even more of a national team for years to come. But we've really been focusing on the offensive end and working on our timing, working on some offensive strategies to put a lot of our players in position to have better scoring opportunities. And with the incoming newbies that we have, with their offensive prowess, it's also going to open up things for our returners. Last year, we relied heavily on LaShonda Pratt, Amber Jones, and Charisma Chapman for offense. And that really limited us because when one of those young ladies came out of the game, it was easy for the defense to key on the other two. So now having more players in the program that are offensively minded, I feel like we're going to do a much better job on the offensive end, and we'll continue to hang our hat on defense. That's what this program is all about, defending. And I strongly believe that defense wins championships. Now with some more offensive addition, we'll have some more points on the board, and we're looking to go very, very far this season. We have an outstanding non-conference schedule. We'll be at home quite a bit, which will be refreshing versus being on the road so much in our non-conference schedule. We're going up and playing Vanderbilt. That's one of the toughest games on our schedule this season. And then within the conference, I'll just speak a little bit about the conference. Tons of parity. We just had media day last week from top to bottom. We're excited about being predicted third, but hey, that's not enough for us. We were looking to exceed that expectation, and we've set the bar really, really high. And then looking at the conference from top to bottom, it's anyone's game this year. Each time we step on the court in Conference USA, it's a very competitive league, and we have to be ready to play on the road and at home, and we understand that. And we know that we have to bring our A game every night. If we're playing Marshall, if we're playing Tulane, it doesn't matter. Every team's stepping on the court, and every team is doing what they need to do to put themselves in position to win a conference championship. And that's our goal for this season, is to win a conference championship. Anything else will be unsatisfactory. We're not even thinking about that. We're pushing towards getting ourselves in position to win the league this year.
So you talked about third overall, saying that that's not satisfactory to you. Typically, in Conference USA the last few years, it's not good enough to get that large bid. So you
No.
do feel like you need to do better.
Oh, we have to do better than that. I mean, fortunately for us, preseason predictions are just that, preseason predictions. Based on the way we finished last season, we tied for third in the league last year, and based on our returners that we have coming back. But it's not. With our league, what we have to do on the women's side is we have to play more top 50 teams. We have to play more Vanderbilts. We have to play more Georgias. We have to play more, teams, from the Big 12, from the Big. We have to play more of those teams and beat those teams to earn the respect so that we can have at least 2, if not 3, teams receive at-large bids. And that's what we're looking to do. Each year we're looking to improve our schedule and do that. So we know that, in order to get into the NCAA tournament, we have to win the league. Regular season championship, that's great, but you've got to win that conference championship to get in.
When you look at this roster, is it wrong to say that maybe the team was kind of built up for this year and next year with the amount of upperclassmen now?
No, it's not wrong to say. I think we have with our returners that we have coming back, we're set with those young ladies. With the young ladies that we brought in some young ladies that will definitely be able to fill in the gaps and fill the roles when we lose players like Amber Jones, Kalila Watson, Kelsey Wayne, who's a very good three-point shooter, Mikaela Kleiss, who's a very active player that goes to the glass, can knock down the high post jumper. So we've brought in players that can step right into that after a year of experience, that can step into those roles and be major contributors. We're also looking at those newbies to be, impact players this season and to be able to step in and give us some quality minutes. So we've definitely built the team, in terms of, we have 15, and which is great. And who knows? I mean, we're looking to stay with playing maybe about 9. If we can go with 10, that's fantastic. Because in our league and the way we play, and our slate on how we play games, and the way we want to play in terms of getting out, being a transition team as we have been in the past, pressing, looking to turn people over as much as possible, create as many transition opportunities and additional possessions for ourselves. We need to have that many players. And the other side of that too is now when we make substitutions, there won't be so much of a drop-off. Last season we had nagging injuries. We had some kids that weren't able to play, so we were relying heavily on about 7. And you know, that's a lot. 40 minutes for 7 players. That's a lot of time to play. And then we're playing on Thursday night. We get a little bit of a rest, have to turn it around and get ready to play Sunday afternoon. So now with having depth and having depth on that bench, I feel like we'll be a lot more successful.
Talk about some of the new players. You added a couple in the late signing.
Mm-hmm.
Probably expected to play. I know Korea being a really good mid-range player for you.
Right.
And Ashley obviously being a junior college transfer.
Mm-hmm.
Get things going offensively. How valuable are those players?
I mean, they're very valuable, especially Ashley Grimes. Ashley Grimes is a young lady from Selma, Alabama, and was down at Selma Junior College, and is a phenomenal athlete. You know, I describe her in terms of her athleticism. She's a lot like Brittany Carter that was at Memphis in terms of her athleticism. Ashley still doesn't realize just how good she can be yet, but I keep telling her and reminding her that every day. And she's a phenomenal athlete, can get to the basket whenever she wants, has a pretty good mid-range game, has to work on that 3. Really long, lean player that'll probably be able to play a little bit of 4 for us. You know, she and Charisma Chapman can switch up there in terms of 1 on the perimeter, 1 inside, because she has nice size. Korea, you know, we're really excited about Korea. Korea's from Irving, Texas. You know, she's from a high school, MacArthur High School, which has a history of producing great talent. And also a history of winning back-to-back state championships in Texas, and that's not easy to do. So she's a born winner. She's also what I call a tweener that'll play mostly 4 for us this season, but I can see her also stepping out and playing a little bit on the perimeter and a little bit of the 3 position as well.
Do you feel that you might be ahead of where you, at this point, where you were last year? You talked about 40 days of practice, you get 10 days off, you have some good returning players. Are you ahead now, at this point, where you were last year?
Most definitely, because we have enough players for practice. So we're definitely ahead of the game. And we've been able to, like I said, you know, put some things in, and the newbies have picked up on them. They've been very aggressive. One of my assistants made a comment the other day. They were like, well, wait a minute, hold on, we better bottle some of this up, because we haven't been this good offensively this early in a very long time. We're talking back to the Carmen Guzman days back in 2007 when, you know, she was Conference Player of the Year. I mean, we're talking that type of talent. So we were trying to bottle it a little bit, but we have some really good kids that are able to, you know, guards in terms of being able to create opportunities for themselves and also create scoring opportunities for our post players. So we're definitely ahead of the game, and I'm excited about that as well, because it makes it easier for us as coaches. Now we can put things in a lot faster. We can move a lot faster. Like today, we're going to add 2 new offenses today and another out-of-bounds play. The kids that we have brought in addition to the kids that are returning, very good basketball IQ. Our returners are doing a phenomenal job of being leaders and making sure that the newbies are in the right position, helping us coach and keeping them encouraged and making sure that, you know, they're doing the things and following rules as I would like them to.
Any other questions for Coach Smith?
All right.
Go ahead,
Sure.
Dave.
Your rebounding margin last year was pretty low in the league.
Yes, you would bring that up.
Well, you didn't say anything about rebounding.
Well, that's why I didn't say anything. No, John.
Are y'all working on?
We are. You know, we talk all the time as a staff. You know, we have to pick our battles. We got to pick our battles. You can't be perfect in every area, you know. And rebounding is definitely a sore spot for us. You know, just thinking about practice yesterday and the number of offensive rebounds that we gave up. And we do a lot of different drills. We try to play a lot of 4-minute game segments so that it's more realistic, because when you're in a drill, you're right there and you're in perfect position to box out. Whereas when you're going up and down and you're transitioning from offense to defense, you've got to go and find that person and box out. So we've been working a lot on that aspect of it. We'll continue to do that. We have some kids that are just natural athletes and they can just go get it. And so basically what we're telling them is, everybody else box out, let her go and get it. Right now, we're fortunate to have, you know, Kayla Anderson, who's going to be that Megan Brown player for us, where she's going to control the glass. It's been obvious in scrimmages. She's really stood out where she's controlled the defensive glass for us. And she's been able to, you know, corral those rebounds in and do a phenomenal job with that. But that's an area that we definitely have to improve upon, as well as the offensive end. But like I said, you know, we've got to pick our battles, and, you know, we're working very hard in each area. You know, our assist to turnover ratio. You know, we're working very hard in each area to improve so that, you know, we can be the best team we can possibly be.